Hi, I'm Brett with Timbersled. Today we're going to install the new ARO chassis on a KTM. Note that ARO fits a wide variety of dirt bikes, and you'll need an install kit specific to ARO to make this install happen. The Mountain Horse or older generations of Timbersled use a different or Mountain Horse install kit. Let's get started. Make sure to go to timbersled.com and download a copy of the installation instructions if you don't have a set, or get a set from your local Timbersled dealer. We're going to begin by disassembling the rear end of the motorcycle. Very simple. Note that I've already taken the chain and disconnected the brake line from the motorcycle. We're going to start by taking out the swing arm pivot bolt, the linkage bolt, the upper shock bolt, and we're going to slide out the swing arm, the tire, and the shock as one complete assembly so we can put it on easy next year. Now we've opened our install kit and we've got all of our subframe reducers. Each subframe reducer is going to take an O-ring and a light coating of grease. And they should install nice and easy. If you're not sure what location these reducers go in, make sure to go to timbersled.com. Print out the ARO fitment table, find the motorcycle that you're using, and you can tell which subframe reducers go in which location. One important thing to note is for 2018, the pivot forging bushings are already pre-installed in the front of the Timbersled chassis. It makes installation even easier. Now that we have the subframe reducers installed in the front of the pivot forging, we're going to install the main chassis into the motorcycle using the main swing arm pivot bolt. Oh, there we go. Now we're going to install the Timbersled suspension strut. You may also be using a Timbersled fixed strut install kit. Either one works great. Refer to the fitment table so that you can understand which spacers go where, and in this case it's the yellow spacers that go in the top. Now we're going to install the two bolts in the bottom of the trunnion ball mount. You may have to raise or lower your stand to get them in the proper position. Next, we're going to uncoil the brake and we're going to run it up the frame and mount it on the handlebar, keeping it clear from all heat sources and watching out for any sharp objects or pinch points. Let's make sure the brake line is routed clear of the exhaust pipe. Now that we've run the Timbersled brake line up the chassis and secured the line away from any pinch or heat points, we're going to remove the stock master cylinder and replace it with the Timbersled master. Now to install the main chain, we're going to loosen the frame rail pinch bolts. Now we're going to loosen the chain tension adjustment bolt. Now let's put the chain on. I like to put the chain on the sprocket and rotate it up so that it holds the chain in place while I install the master. Make sure and put the clip going in this direction so that it can't come off once installed. We're going to tighten these two to finish the chain installation process. Reinstall any of the final components from your dirt bike. And let's move on to the front end. The front end is also quick and easy. We're going to remove the front brake, the front fork guards, and the front wheel. Now we're ready to install the Timbersled ARO front end. Note that for this next step, I've referenced the fitment table, pulled out all of the installation components that I need from the install kit box, including the front spindle reducers. And I've already installed the spindle onto the ski. I'm going to slide it into position, install the reducers into the spindle, put the axle in position, and then put the fork clamps on. To make sure to orient the slot towards the back. I also want to make sure that both fork clamps are seated on the fork lowers and that they're parallel, straight across from each other. Make sure that the longer bolt is in the back. The spindle is slotted, so I want to make sure when I put this outer fork clamp on that I locate the slots. And it can only be installed in the correct position. If your bolts go through, you're in the correct position. Make sure our washer goes on the inside. Now we're going to tension the pinch bolts and the front axle. Then we'll reinstall the front fork guards. Note that I've already trimmed out the fork guard so that I can use it. You may choose to do this or run it without fork guards. That's how quick and easy it is to install the Timbersled ARO on your dirt bike. Make sure that as you're going through the installation process, you refer back to the installation instructions so you don't miss any steps. Also, make sure to properly torque all the bolts, including the front ski to spindle bolt. Make sure and keep that tight. Check it all the time, even while you're riding. Thanks for joining us.